This is George Williams from Lifetime Productions Squared, and first time using Periscope, so it should be interesting. On our way to go to pick up my Tesla from one of the 2 delivery centers that are here in Phoenix, and gonna be talking about some of the questions I asked my delivery specialist, and also talk about some of the stuff that I typed up all last night on the new version of the Model S and the features and all that stuff. So, I guess let's first talk about the fact that there are 2 service centers in Phoenix. I had not known that till today. There's one in Tempe and one in Scottsdale. So I'm going to get the Scottsdale one, but they shipped it down to the one in Tempe, probably because the one in Scottsdale's too busy. So I had 4 questions. Too many pieces of paper here. Okay, I had 4 questions I asked that were answered, and then one question I had that I didn't ask it because that's gonna be more for when I'm actually at the place, service center. So those 4 questions I had were asking about just like basic kind of things about the car. Well, maybe not some stuff that's not so basic, but so the first thing was about the USB ports. The 2016 refresh model still has the Model S still has the 2.0 ports. They don't know when they're going to switch up to the 3.0 ports. So who knows? Maybe they never will. It'd be nice if they did a little bit higher. You don't really need the 3.0 for the audio streaming, but it still would be kind of awesome to have. So this one I've confirmed myself several times, but I want to ask them anyway because there's some other questions that aren't readily available. It's about the battery for the new 60 model. As it is a 75 kilowatt battery. They've just locked it down to 60 with the software. I also asked them, how does the software distribute the power across all the cells, or if it just locks off some cells and doesn't use them, which would seem very unlikely, the last part. And how that would affect battery degradation in terms of if you were like driving it for a while, maybe 50,000, 60,000 miles, and unlock that extra 20% of the battery, what would the effect be on the degradation? And so the answer I got back was, and I'll just read it word for word, restrictions come from the software, full batteries used, there's no physical restrictions. And then he said, the delivery specialist said, which is nice because there is no additional degradation because of this. Using the 60 kilowatt battery will have the same lifespan as a 75 kilowatt battery. So that's interesting to learn. So it just limits the total charge you can put into the battery, not locking off any cells or anything like that. So all the cells are used, so there's not going to be any extra degradation because of that. Let's see what else. Got to add some more information on the battery and stuff later on. If we don't get through it all, I'll do it on the post delivery and getting back Periscope. Let's see. 3rd question was about the Autopilot 2.0 hardware. So I'd read on TeslaMotorsClub.com and some other sites that in the latest Model S design schematics, there are places for new tri-camera installation. And there's one currently tri-camera installation in the Model S, and that's kind of above the visor where they do have the stuff for the autopilot. And there are theories that this new camera emplacement is to help make the system more accurate after what happened in Florida, because the top-mounted camera couldn't distinguish the sky from the side of the truck, which was white, and that's why it didn't slow down. So when I talked to him, I asked him about that question, he responded that the service team didn't know anything about the new hardware emplacement. There's not actually any hardware in there yet, but there is a spot for it and also wiring that goes into there. So some are speculating that once Autopilot 2.0 does come out, they'll just be able to go in there and install them post-market, like as a service call, service fee, whatever. And yeah, they don't.
I'm on 151. I gotta get on 101 again.
My driver doesn't know where he's going. They obviously don't get notified until there actually are cars being sent to them that have this stuff in them. So they don't know about the stuff that's in flight. So the last question I asked him was about the 7-year internet access, and this is kind of an interesting question that I had, because after 7 years, if you have to resubscribe or purchase the kind of I think it's LTE now, internet direct to your car coverage, whatever you want to call it, access, or you lose it and don't have those features anymore for that. And as part of that, I asked them, how would that affect over-the-air updates? And because the car won't have internet access at that point if you don't buy the service from Verizon or whoever happens to be the provider they're using. For Phoenix, it's going to be Verizon. Back east, I think they use AT&T. And then I also asked them, in addition to all of that, if updates are no longer pushed, what would happen with critical patch, and that might impact like the safety of the car, or like maybe some upgrade to autopilot. And then in addition to all that, how would that affect the autopilot machine learning in terms of both uploading information to the server and pulling it down? His response was that you can still, after the 7 years, you can still get the updates just by connecting it to a local Wi-Fi connection or your home connection. The stuff would download then. And then I think he didn't quite understand what I was referencing, because then he said we have no plans to stop interconnection as of now, but if we do, please ensure that we will support our cars. I think he didn't understand the question I was asking in terms of that the service lasts for 7 years and then you have to like repurchase it or whatever to get back onto it. And then he's again talked about the critical updates. If there's a crucial update that needs to happen, we'll make sure you receive it during your ownership of the Tesla. And then last was he didn't know how that would affect the autopilot machine learning. So that's kind of a question that might be interesting to see how that turns out once we reach the point in Tesla lifespans where autopilot cars can potentially not be connected to the network through the in-car Wi-Fi, in-car access. So the fifth question I'm going to ask today, although it says on the website that the new Model S60 has a lifetime warranty on the battery, I'm going to ask anyway, because in the new vehicle limited warranty documentation, it mentions that if you have a 60 kilowatt battery, it's warranted for 125k miles within 8 years, and the 70 and above is the unlimited. Since technically it's if you want to look at it in a very kind of sure business sense, it's technically a 60 kilowatt battery that's locked off, but can go to 75. Which of the two clauses actually applies? I think it's the unlimited, but I'm just going to make sure. So now we're going to go into talking about the car. This is more for people that don't know much about Teslas or are looking to buy one and haven't really done that much research. A lot of this is pretty much standard knowledge to a lot of hardcore Tesla fans like myself and other people. But we're going to go over it anyway. So for the Model S, there's a set of standard options that all the cars have. And that's what we're going to be talking about just for this next part. So we'll start with the 7 years of free in-car Wi-Fi by cellular phone carrier. Again, depends on your area. AZ, it's Verizon. Somewhere else, it might be another carrier. Back east, it's AT&T. That's had a huge problem with their network, and I think they fixed it now, but it was down for quite a while. Let's see, free over-the-air updates with one caveat related to internet access, which we already talked about. Once the 7 years has passed, if you don't purchase the service, you can only update the car through local Wi-Fi connections. I said free, but not really. Supercharger access. It is free. You don't have to pay when you go to the supercharger, but you pay the initial cost through like a cost in the car. It's built into the cost of the car, not the base cost. There used to be an option you had to pick to select it. I'm not sure if it's still $2,500 here or not. I think it probably is, but it's built in the cost of the car now. Let's see what else. Maps with nav and maps and navigation with real-time traffic information. The newer refreshed 2016 Model S's have the center console. You don't have to buy that separately now. Then that's that center console. You can find it on the Tesla store. It's that console that goes kind of underneath the dashboard. Let's see, keyless entry. The frunk, which pushes the storage space to 31.6 cubic meters. I'm not sure if that's with the back seats lowered or not. I'm assuming it is with them lowered. And I'm pretty sure that even in the non-performance models, and even with the textile black seats, the back seats still pull down. I've seen places online where that happens. Active safety technologies, including side collision avoidance, emergency auto emergency braking, even at highway speeds. Oh, at any speed, really. Parking sensors and blind spot warning. Full LED lamps, which with the premium upgrade package are capable of auto tracking with the road while you're driving through curves. And those will also turn on automatically at certain light levels. So, like if you're going into like a area that has a storm, the ambient light drops enough, the lights will come on their own. Also, the windshield wipers will turn on automatically when they sense rain hitting the windshield, which is actually kind of interesting. Let's see, tracking. The charger capacity is actually higher than the non-refreshed Model S. It used to be 40 amp charger. Now they bumped it up to 48. Although, yeah, it's more of use for the high-powered wall charger. So, and I guess it also probably pulls more power from the HPWC and the superchargers. Let's see, no more nose cone. The new version of the 60 has that Model X duck face. I say that lovingly because I like the way that it looks now. And they both looked okay, but the newer one looks a little more, shall we say, disruptive. There's no grill or anything on it. It's mainly the reason they had that one on the S was to make it look a little more similar to other cars, and also easier access to the 12-volt battery. 12 volt? Is it 12 volt? I'm not sure if it's the lead acid battery. Let's see. Power folding heated side mirrors, 3-latch child seat attachments, and for the, I guess for all of them now, because it's apparently what it is on the website. It says 8-year infinite mile drivetrain and battery warranty, and a 4-year 50,000 mile limited warranty. Alright, so we're going to talk about the options that I chose now, and also some of the options I didn't choose, and some other information about those options. So to start, I'm just going to go through those like they're displayed on the actual design studio. So it goes like paint, then the roof and the roof and wheels, and then the interior, and then all the other stuff. So if you're wondering why it's organized this way, that's why. So for the paint, I went with the deep metallic blue. Decided to go with the panoramic all-glass roof, not only because it has a sunroof and it's awesome, but also because you need to have it if you're going to enable the XM satellite radio service, which is part of the UHFS package. And for those of you that don't know what that is, ultra-high fidelity sound package. For wheels, I just went with the 19-inch slipstream wheels. They also have 21-inch wheels, which give a more sporty feeling to the handling. But those increase road noise, have a lower lifespan, and lower the range that you'll get per charge. But also more susceptible to road damage too, because they have a stronger sidewall. The actual thickness of the tread is less. I mean, not less, but they're more sticky, so they pick things up more easily and can have weird things happen with them. I've seen some interesting postings on Tesla Motors Club forum. So for the seats, I did the black textile seats. They're called multi-pattern black seats now, but those were originally called black textile seats. They also have the next-gen seats, which have more side support on them. But it depends. It's a matter of preference. They're more expensive. And whatever you do, if you want to get your Model S as soon as possible, just avoid the tan seats like the next-gen ones. Those will push your order out at least 4 or 5 months because they have a hard time getting those. Unless you really want them and can deal with that extra time. They used to have leather seats, which were part of the premium interior package. That were like an additional thing you had to buy for some extra features that would be in part of that, but they're not on the design studio anymore, so I'm not sure if those were discontinued or what. Black Alcantara headliner. They used to charge extra for that, now they don't. And you can also get it by default. You used to have to buy it through the premium interior package. And also the dark ashwood accents. I wanted to get the piano black accents, but they discontinued them. Like literally, I think a month before I put in my order, so. Maybe it was more than a month. Maybe a couple months, but still. Not sure why they did that. And sorry for all the glares. We're going over overpasses and whatnot. So let's talk about now the model. I got the Model S 60D, so dual motor. Has a 75 kilowatt battery that's been locked down by the software to 60 kilowatts. I'm not sure what the horsepower is. They don't list that anymore. The old listing was 376, but it's probably higher now due to the fact that this new Model S is actually 3 seconds faster, the D is, than the old version, I think. No, wait, maybe not. More than 3 seconds. I'm looking at the regular S is 5.5 to 60. For the D, it's now 5.2 to 60. And that's just an effect of having a larger battery. They can pull more energy from it. Even if they have it locked to 60 kilowatt hours. Top speeds is also increased to 130 from 100 and I'm going to say 122, but I'm not sure. You can also unlock the full 75 kilowatt battery for $9,000. It's actually 8.5 thousand or 8.5 thousand. Well, technically, 8.5 thousand is the same as 8.5K, so I guess that works somehow. And then the $500 like service fee for when you take it in and they do the labor and whatnot. There are some pluses and minuses to that. I think they're on this page. Yeah. So on the next page already. So when you go in, they'll also give you a badge upgrade. So instead of saying like 60 whatever or 60D, it'll say 75, 75D. And some of the other benefits are you'll get faster so there's faster supercharging speed over the previous version of the 60 because the battery's larger, so it can pull more energy in. Charging just normal, any kind of charging, regular charging, supercharger, high power wall charger. But then there are some downsides. The 75 kilowatt upgrade is permanent; you can't go back. The pack is also heavier than the 60 kilowatt hour. So there's that, though it doesn't really matter because this is the increase in horsepower. And then also the car title will stay as a Model 60 even if it's really a 75 now. And there's no way that anybody knows to change that. So when if you ever choose to resell the car, it'll sell for less than what it actually is worth. Not sure if anyone knows of anything of how to stop that or change that, but that's the current state of things. So I also got the autopilot features. As of at least July, all Model S's coming off the line now have the capability to support the 2.0 hardware, at least as it's being designed right now. may change in the future, but there's a place, like I mentioned before, for the Autopilot 2.0 second tri-camera hardware to go. Service centers, delivery techs don't really know about it yet, but based on that answer I got from before. And then whatever else I read is what I'm already told about. There's also a, not related to Autopilot, but there's a new untreated section on the window where you can put toll badges and things, where before, due to the coating on the windshield, it has a metallic coating for blocking out a lot of UV rays and heat and all that kind of stuff. It actually would also cause those kind of badges to crap out, so there's a place for those now. Got the premium upgrades package, and this includes upper dashboard Alcantara accents, quick connection phone dock. You have to specify if you want an iPhone or a Droid connection, because I guess those are exclusive. They don't have one that fits everything due to there not being a standard dashboard. Didn't hear anything about Windows phones, so if you have a Windows phone, I guess you're out of luck. Although, who has a Windows phone these days? Besides maybe some poor Microsoft exec that's getting screwed over. Lighted door handles. So the door handles when they extract have lights behind them or inside the wells or something that lights them up when they extract, when they extend. Well, I guess you could say they extricate themselves. Has the power lift gate, though I've heard some people say the power lift gate's standard now. I'm not sure about that. But it's still listed as a premium upgrade package item. Ambient LED lighting inside of the car. LED fog lights, leather armrest, steering wheel, and lower dashboard. I'm not sure if this is still dependent on the leather seats or not. In the package information, it says you have to have leather seats, as those are no longer available in the designer. But I'm wondering if the next-gen seats are what they're talking about. They just haven't updated the terminology. Also, ventilated front seats, which circulate cool, dry air if you get the next-gen black or tan seats with a P model car, so that's the performance version. And it literally does have the Model X bioweapon defense mode. I mean, people made a lot of jokes when that came out, originally when Elon said that on the stage, but it does have that. Has the same HEPA filter and two smaller activated carbon filters. And I think in the settings there's also the bioweapons defense mode. So, you know, if North Korea decides to do something Homeland style, we'll have something against that. And anybody that's not a gamer does not understand that reference, so go look up Homeland on Homefront, not Homeland. Even I'm wrong with that one, so it's Homefront. So go look up that game. It's actually pretty interesting. And mildly plausible, too. It's the same as World in Conflict. It's a mildly plausible scenario. So let's talk about the Smart Arc suspensions. That's the next thing that I have on this list that I got. So it adjusts the ride height based on driving conditions and also manual settings. So, like for example, if you're on a steep driveway or driving through high snowpack, the car will automatically increase the ride height to very high. And it switches between, I said 1 to 3, so it's actually 4, not 3. It's very high, high, normal, and low. So, and I mentioned the actual heights of those levels too in this, so we'll talk about that. So, for very high, also you can set any of these ride heights manually at any time if you want to. We'll talk more about that feature later on, towards the end of this section. So, the car will switch between these settings based on the speed they're going or conditions. Really, the only conditions are for the high driveway or high snow that I could find. Everything else is based on speed. So, if you're under 10 miles per hour, it'll be set to very high, and very high is 7.3 inches. Over 10 miles an hour, but under 20, then it switches to high, which is 6.9 inches. Over 20, but under 50. Is normal, which is 6 inches, and over 50, which is actually a manual setting between 50 miles an hour and 90 miles per hour, can be used as well. But by default, it's over 50. It'll switch to low, which is 5.2 inches. That's just so that while you're driving at higher speeds, you have the lower profile, lower center of gravity, and more efficient air slipstream around the car. You can manually set any level at any time, and you can also it will also save the setting at that specific GPS location, which will tag if you have a setting turned on. And you can also, even if you have the setting turned on, if you don't want to save that setting there, maybe it's just a one-time thing you want to do, you can cancel out it from saving that setting. So let's talk about the sound package. Comes with the XP satellite radio capability, XM. I don't know why I said XP. That's actually kind of funny. But you have to subscribe to enable it, and you also have to have the panoramic roof. And what that really is just an all-glass roof, pretty much all the way across the top of the car. So if you live in a place where the roads are more kind of unkempt or more kind of gravelly and there's always lots of stones flying around, you may not want to get the panoramic roof. So maybe more susceptible to damage. There's not really any information on that yet that I could find. So it upgrades the sound system to have 12 speakers and an amp and a subwoofer. I have no clue what the size of the subwoofer is. I couldn't find anything on that. But the speakers will use neodymium magnets, and one of those are rare earth magnets that are very powerful, and it has an effect of making the sound is much more crisp and clear, even at higher audio levels. And most people say that that upgrade makes the sound system better than a lot of aftermarket really high price sound systems. That's just what other people are saying. I haven't actually experienced it yet, so I have no clue. So the stuff that I didn't get, talking about now, so the first thing I didn't get were the rear-facing child seats, although maybe I should have because of this one reason. So what those do is they give you 2 5-point harnesses in the back for 2 smallish kids. I say smallish because they only really are supposed to be used for certain height and weight kids. One benefit of it, though, is that even if you don't have kids or aren't planning to take kids in this type of car, is that it upgrades the bumper, which gets reinforced like crazy, and it's able to take a lot of kinetic force without crumpling. Somebody was saying, and I have no clue if this is true or not, that the Nashta actually tested by sending a semi-truck at lower speeds into the back bumper of a rear-facing child seat Tesla, and it didn't even damage it whatsoever. But I'll need to confirm that. That's just something I read on Tesla Motors Club forum. Let's see, the other thing I didn't get, actually there's 2 other things I didn't get. The Sub-Zero package, because if it ever gets below 0 here in Phoenix, then we have a lot bigger problems than having a Sub-Zero package in a car. It's just hell well frozen over at that point. Which adds rear heated back seats, heated steering wheel, heated wiper blades, and heated washer nozzles. I've also heard from various places that the front seats are always heated, no matter what type of car you get, what Model S you get. But I've also seen on the website that they're only heated as part of this package. So I'm going to go with what's on Tesla's Design Studio page, which states that you only get heated seats with the Sub-Zero package, which kind of makes more sense. I also didn't get the charger upgrade, as house right now is older and probably can't support a 100 amp circuit for a high-powered wall charger. I'm actually going to be charging using a NEMA 1030R, ancient, old, probably dangerous.
What's it called?
Dryer thing.
Lower gear or what?
No, it's called. Well, just keep driving, you'll see it eventually. It's going to be like a huge complex. It'll say Tempe service or something.
Oh, it's only 11 o'clock, so we're in good shape.
Yeah, I think this is it here. Yeah, there's Tesla. Huge Tesla thing on the side of the building. That's how you know.
They'll make it.
I wasn't sure. Yeah. So this new service center is actually brand new. They put it in, literally opened it up like I think 2 months ago. So I'm one of the first people coming here to get a car from here. It's gonna be interesting. So we're here. They don't allow us to.
Gallery or service?
I don't really know.
Let's go to the front.
This way. It would be the front then.
Yeah.
I don't know, they used to allow people to, or maybe they never did, and people did anyway and lied to them that they weren't going to put it online. But they don't allow us to record the delivery stuff, so we'll cover the last other info section, which is actually pretty substantial. After I get back home with the car from getting it titled and whatnot. So, thanks for watching. I will be putting this on YouTube after probably sometime next week as well. So if you missed most of it, you'll be able to see some of it. And I will see you in probably about 2.5 to 3 hours for the next Periscope session. Swipe down to start.